When I was the manager of a makeup store, I had an interaction with a customer that completely changed like my brain chemistry. Like I seriously, like I think that day changed my life. So a customer comes in and I check on her and I ask her if she needs help finding anything, and she seems like a little nervous or timid that I'm even talking to her. I just asked her, do you need help finding anything? And she was like, no, thank you. Her body language, the volume she used to speak to me, obviously this is not someone I could be like, well, let me show you this over here. Let me take you over here. She doesn't want to be engaged with. So I told her, okay, if you change your mind, I'm right here. Let me know if you have any questions. So like 20 minutes goes by and, she's still walking around the store. There's nothing in her hands. She's just walking around. In my opinion, she looks a little scared, but perhaps it's more intimidation than anything. There is a stigma of people who work in makeup stores, which I understand because I've also experienced it. People that work in makeup stores with full face glam, they're so mean and they look down on you if you don't use expensive products, and they think they're better than you, and good luck getting them to help you with anything. I mean, when people talk about their experiences at makeup stores, 9 times out of 10, if you have a good experience, you don't say anything. 10 times out of 10, if you have a bad experience, you're gonna make a video about it or tell somebody or leave some sort of review. So mostly you're gonna hear about the bad experiences. She looks a little timid. She's going to the same places over and over. My gut tells me to ask her again. I walked up to her slowly and I was like, hey, I just wanted to check in and see if there was anything I could help you with. She looks really uncomfortable, and in the softest, why did I tap off cream? In the softest, quietest tone, she goes, I don't want to bother you. Boom, there's my in. You do need help. You're just nervous. I tell her, girl, I'm not doing anything. I am so bored. I would love to help you out. You don't want to bother me? Girl, that's my job. Bother me. She proceeds to tell me that she doesn't wear makeup ever. Which, to be honest with you, we hear that all the time. People are always coming in. They don't wear makeup. They just need help for like a special occasion, one day type of thing. And she tells me that she has always loved makeup and she's been super interested in it, but she's never ever worn any makeup ever. She was maybe like mid-30s. Now that I don't run into that often. I was like, that's okay, girl. We all start somewhere. What are you wanting? Like what type of makeup are you wanting? She looks at me a little like perplexed, and she says, I don't even know where to start. I don't know. And I said, okay, do you have like any pictures? Is there any special event, or like is there any reason why now you want to wear makeup? She's quiet for a little bit, maybe like a good 30 seconds, and she's just looking at me. And I can just feel it. Give her a second. It's this, the store is intimidating. I look like a hoochie mama. I've got my overdrawn lips and I've got my crazy eyeshadow and my long extensions, and the store is loud and bright and there's so many smells. And you've never worn makeup before, and you're here, and a hoochie mama like me is trying to help you. I'm gonna just give her a minute to think, She lets out like a big sigh and she goes, I've actually never been allowed to wear makeup. I froze because that can mean a lot of things, right? And she felt comfortable enough to tell me that it's not my job to dig. It's my job to help with the questions she has. So I give her a really big grin and I tell her, and now we can. She nods very slowly and she's very quietly tells me, and now we can. Okay, girl, let's get you some makeup. I sit her down at a table where like we can do makeup. So if you've never worn makeup and you want to start, it's always a good idea, to go with like a tinted moisturizer or a tinted sunscreen, a cream blush, a little bit of mascara, possibly brown mascara, a tinted lip balm. You don't want to overwhelm the person. So I'm doing all these things. I'm grabbing them. I'm teaching her how to use it. We're in front of a mirror too, so like I'm doing half of her face, and like I'm grabbing, affordable brushes because she's starting from nothing, and I'm teaching, like I opened the brushes there. Like I'm opening product there so that she knows when she goes home, I did this with this girl. I know how to use it. We're making sure she feels confident. I'm telling you, we did very, very minimal light makeup. So we're done with the makeup, and she's looking in the mirror and she's looking at herself for a little bit. She gets a little teary-eyed. She doesn't start sobbing, but I can see it, like her eyes are starting to well up. This happens a lot. I know a lot of my story times are all about crazy people. These types of interactions happen a lot too. So I give her a little tissue and I tell her, I think you look beautiful. She smiles and she looks at herself in the mirror again and she goes, I think I look happy. I agreed with her and I told her, I was like, yeah, you look really happy. The tears that were welling up in her eyes start falling, and she lets me know that her divorce was finalized today. I asked her if I could hug her and she said yes, and we hugged and we both cried. She lets go and we start putting things in her basket, and she's like, can I get your name so that you can get the commission? I was like, girl, we don't work on commission here. She thanks me for my help. I let her know if she has any more questions, she can always come back in. And then after she checks out, I took a little break and I sat in the back for a little bit. I still think about her. To this day, I still think about her.
Guess who got caught having a boyfriend in a strict Indian household? So, quick story time on exactly how the frick that happened. I have to be quiet because obviously my dad is like literally down the freaking hall. But basically, like, I've been talking to this dude for like probably, I want to say like officially talking for like a month and a half. But like me and him have known each other for like probably 5 months kind of thing. Mind you, I'm literally the type where I just like don't talk to dudes. I hate men. Like, I am just like that like kind of man hater girl like that everybody like kind of just like is like, yeah, she doesn't want to date. But literally this man comes along and he's literally everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything that you could possibly imagine like ever wanting in a guy. Like, princess treatment to the max. He is so emotionally mature. Like, he's willing to talk things out. He never lets me go to bed mad or anything. We communicate. I met his family. They all like adore me. Like, everything. It's just like, it's perfect. Like, everything's perfect. Like, I feel like I can't describe to you guys like how good it is if you're not like living it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so literally we were hanging out after work one day, just like chilling, like nothing like too crazy. And we both have each other as our wallpaper, but I always change my wallpaper like when I go home and stuff like that. So I literally like drive back home, right? And I literally, like, this has never happened to me ever, but like I forgot my phone in my car, and like that has never happened to me before, like never. And like I always carry my phone with me, like wherever I go, like it's always in my hand, like everything. But today I literally left my phone in the car and with my wallpaper not changed, so it's literally just me and him like on my wallpaper, but it's nothing like crazy. It's like a mirror pic of like the two of us, and like his head is like on my head kind of thing because he's taller than me, so his head is like on my head, and we're like just like he's hugging me from behind, and like it's a mirror pic. It's nothing like crazy, like we're not like kissing in the photo or anything. And then literally, of course, that's the one day that my dad is like, okay, I'm gonna park your car inside our second garage. He never does that, and I literally told him to. I said, I have work in the morning, so like I don't need you to park the car or anything. Like, I literally came back from a closing shift and I was literally gonna go back in the morning to go work, and I'm like, there's no point in doing that, like just like leave it outside, like I'm just gonna take it out anyways. And he was like, no, like I'm gonna go park it. And so then I'm like, okay, fine, that's whatever. I like start warming up my food and everything, and like I'm about to eat, and I realize I don't have my phone with me. And I was literally like, oh god, no, I did not leave it in that fucking car. There's no fucking way. I'm searching everywhere. I'm searching in my bag, my lunchbox, like under my vest, like everything. Like I'm searching every pocket. I'm just like, fuck, I don't have it with me. And then I go back outside and I see my dad is parking my car, and I'm like, no, like there's no way I left my phone in the car. There's no absolute fucking way. And what do you know, Lord and behold, my phone was in the car because my dad comes out, and I was like, I don't know where my phone is. He's like, I have your phone. And I was like, fuck. And he's basically like, immediately like, you are never driving again. You are done with your phone, your car, everything is gone. And he literally told me, he's like, you have to buy your own phone. Like, I'm not gonna support you anymore. You're paying for your own college tuition, like everything. Like, he's like, I'm taking everything. And honestly, at this point, I wasn't really like shaken up, because I was just like, if you really want to cut me out, because, and my dad told me too, he's like, boyfriends are not allowed in our house, whatever. Like, he's yelling at me. My mom's yelling at me. They're like, this is the worst thing that you could ever do to us. You could ever possibly do to us. My dad literally said, like, this is worse than drugs that you could do. And I was just like, having a boyfriend is worse than doing drugs. And he was basically like, yeah, this is not accepted in our culture, and if you want to do this, then we're gonna kick you out and you're dead to me. You're dead to me. Like, he kept saying that the entire time. He's like, you're dead to me if you want to do this, and like all these things. And I'm literally just like looking at him like, are we fucking serious? And so then after that, they were like, you either have, and my mom's yelling at me, it's like a whole fucking thing. They're basically like, you have two options. You can either pick to keep living here, focus on your studies, focus on your future, cut off like all of this bullshit, and you can stay with us, or if you want to pick this man over us, then you're gonna get kicked out. Now obviously, like, I'm not gonna pick the man like over my family, but at the same time, it's like I'm not breaking up with them. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, how do I even explain that? But it's like, like the way that they were yelling at me, the way that they were telling me that I'm a disappointment now, like, mind you, I have a 4.0 in college. I'm about to be 20 years old. I have a 4.0 in college. Like, I do so much. I'm working a side job, like everything. And my dad was literally telling me, because he knew that he's my coworker. So he was like, if you want to pick this man, then you're going to quit your job. You're going to do all this. And I literally told him, I said, I'm not quitting my job. I'm not. And my dad's like, how much do you even make, like, in a month? And I was like, around like 2.5K for my job. And he was like, I can give you that money. I will pay you 2.5K every single month, so you don't have to work and you can just keep staying here, focus on your studies, like everything. And I'm like, no, I sorry, I had to like spray my freaking face, but like when he told me that, like when he said that, he had like this smile on his face, like thinking that like I was gonna say yes, because it's like, oh yeah, my daughter is, of course she's gonna be like, oh yeah, give me the 2.5K like every month. I don't have to work, I don't have to do anything for it. And when I literally told him, no, I'm working for my own money, I'm gonna be independent, I'm gonna work on myself, I'm gonna work for this money myself, his smile dropped, and I was just like, that's so fucking free. But yeah, it's just like the effort to try and control me so much now, literally just because I have a boyfriend. But basically, like, yeah, they took my phone for the night, thankfully, because in the morning they were like, they gave it back to me, and they're like, this is your first step to like building trust or whatever, like all these things. And I was just like, honestly, I was just kind of numb. And it's just like, nothing is the same anymore. It's just like, I feel so lost and just so like just done. Like, I don't know, like I haven't even, like, my parents keep trying to like talk to me or whatever, and I'm just like, I just don't feel it anymore. I don't feel any sort of connection with them. Because if only I could tell you guys like the full reaction that they had. Like, I don't want to talk about it, I don't think I can talk about it, but I'm just like, it's just so much that I just can't look at them the same way anymore. I just can't, like, I can't live here anymore. Like, I just can't. And I told them that, and I said, like, I just don't know if I can live here anymore, and all these things. And I told them, like, I have to move out for spring semester anyways to Tempe, because all of my classes, like, I'm gonna have a full schedule class, so there's no way around it. Like, I have to go there because I'm not commuting every single day. Like, that's just unrealistic, and that's not gonna happen. I'm honestly just gonna bring mascara to work because I know I'm gonna start crying. To be honest, I know I am. Like, I've been crying non-stop for days, and I'm just like over it. This is my first day back to work since everything, and I just, like, part of me blames myself. I could have been smarter. Part of me feels like just hopeless, and like nothing's ever gonna change, nothing's ever gonna happen. Like, I'm just gonna be stuck here, and I don't know what to do. Anyways, guys, this is the final makeup look for today. I'm gonna go get dressed and then start leaving, but I hope you guys have an amazing, wonderful day. I love you so much. Bye.
Shit my husband does that pisses me off. Love my husband, but we all get a little pissed off, you know what I'm saying? Starting off with the banger, that's gonna be, hey honey, I'm gonna go out on the couch and I'm gonna come back into bed, I promise. top 5 things that ever happened. Him coming back into bed. Oh, but then he pulls this number. No, honey, I'm leaving my phone charger. I promise. Well, okay, you know how many times you done fell asleep on the couch and you didn't come back inside and you have a dead phone? This one. I get off work. I come inside. He's sitting on the couch. What are you doing? If I come back home from work and you're sitting at all, what are you doing, mate? How long have you been there? I swear to God, this motherfucker's so trained though, because I walk in the door and he's like this. Jingle bacon, do sting on. When he's not sitting on the couch. When I come home and he's doing dishes. Oh! Fuck, I was shitting my pants. When he says he's going out with the guys just to one place, then he ends up going out all night, clubs, bars, whatever. Oh, nothing has ever made me that bad. He's literally doing nothing. Having a bad bitch means she's crazy. The end. For the record, he's only done that a couple times. One time he went to the strip club. Oh. One time he went to the strip club, it was the first and last. God, the girls. I don't even know if we were together yet or if we were just a thing. But he went to go hang out with some friends and they ended up going out and I was going crazy looking at his location and then he never came home and his phone died. Oh. Ow. Next morning he texted me and he's like, sorry, I fell asleep at my friend's house. Like, I'll be there soon. I was like, where did you go last night? He said, blah, 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 and mentioned the strip club. That was the biggest mistake he could have ever made in his life. That was definitely uncharted territory for our relationship. And so he learned real quick. He came home and actually physically got on his knees. He came home, I was getting ready in my mirror like this. And all of a sudden I just see him right there next to me. And I'm all, and he's just like, I'm sorry. If you ever do that again, I'll face you. Some girls don't care if their husband does, but I do. And no hate on the people who don't care. I like, to each their own. But for me and my man, hell no, we won't go. When I tell him to tickle my back and he stays in one spot like this, it actually starts hurting my back. Like, it's like, do you want to do this, yes or no? He never tells me no though, and my ex used to literally say no. My husband tickles my back every single night, but if he stops for 2 seconds, he's cooked. When he says he'll cook dinner and he cooks chicken and rice, ooh, sauce and crumbs all over the whole kitchen. There's spaghetti sauce on the ceiling. I'm like, please, let it go. Let it go. Oh, okay, so he does this thing, and you could tell he's irritated because if I ask him a question and he goes like this, I'd be like, I already said, honey. I'm like, are you stuttering? Are you okay? You think I'm stupid? I go crazy, and he's like, oh my God. When he's fucking with me during photo time. No better, sir. He'll be like, it's a very serious moment. You have to stop, lock in. He knows what he's doing. He's actually professional. I've trained him very well for Instagram pics, okay? Sometimes he just feels like a silly little goose. And I'm like, this is not the time! I tell you how many live photos there are where I'm like, stop! Oh my God, he be in my comments, dude. Bolton is in my comments. He's telling people our address, basically. He's like, yeah, come on over. Dwayne, get the fuck out of the comments. He's just a nice fella. My husband knows everybody everywhere we go. Single place we enter, I have to stop and wait while he's like, hey man, hey, how you been? We have a code word to shut him the fuck up. The code word is, a popsicle sounds really good right now. Whenever I insert that line, him mid-combo, he wraps it up. He actually inserted that quote into his vows. It was the cutest thing. He said, I could go on and on about how much I love you, but please tell me popsicle sounds really good right now. Just a boy and he loves to yap. That's me actually picking him apart and trying to find things to get pissed off about because I have the perfect husband there ever was. You know, sometimes us girls will find something to bitch about. Okay. I love you, husband.
Embarrassing things I've done so you can feel better about yourself. I got recognized while I was crying in public. Okay, listen, I want to preface this with saying there's nothing wrong with crying. Like, we're human. Baddies have bad days. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days for it. But what was embarrassing was in the way I got recognized. Basically, picture a baddie in the Honolulu airport. This literally happened like 3 days ago. Basically, what happened is my man purchased the flight home through the credit card company off like the point system. You know what I mean? For some reason, when we got to the airport, we went to the airline like front desk agent and we were like, hey, like for some reason we can't like access the boarding pass. And they were basically very sassy telling us, hey, like you purchased this ticket through a different company. So it's like, it's not showing up and like, you don't have a ticket. And we're like, oh, okay. So we call up the credit card company. They're like, hey, yeah, no, we don't know what to say to you. You have to go make the line again and go talk to the airline company again in person in the airport. We make the long ass line. That agent was already sassy the first time. So she was extra sassy the second time when we're up in her face saying the same thing again. She basically told us the same thing, but even more rude. So in my mind, I'm like, oh no, like, how am I gonna get home? Like a baddie starts crashing out because I have a lot of shit that planned to get home. Like I had brand deals. I literally had to film, edit, and send to them within the 24 hours of me supposedly landing. And then on top of that, I also had school that was starting the day before, and I can't access any of my assignments. So the assignment's already late. Just like a bunch of little shit was adding up. So Abedi starts to cry. Okay, when I'm upset and frustrated, girl, Abedi don't get mad. She gets sad for real. So basically what happened after we stopped talking to the agent of the airlines, Abedi starts to tear up. We walk away from the line. We're a little bit in the corner of the line. Nobody could really see us. I'm a mind of a mastermind for her. I kind of angle myself where, you know, no one could see me. My head is down until Abedi taps me on my shoulder and she's like, oh my God, Ariane. I turn around, full on crying. Okay. And she's like, oh, girl, that is so embarrassing. I feel so embarrassed because usually when the baddie supporters like come up to me and recognize me, I like to have a little conversation. I like to, you know, get to know a baddie a little bit. And honestly, finding a supporter that catches me off guard, like it really made me even more sad and more embarrassed. Bless this baddie's heart. She was literally the sweetest. She was like rubbing my arm and trying to calm me down. And then her mom comes up and she was also hella fucking sweet. It's like to a point where I'm like looking at this like whole scenario and I start laughing while I'm actively crying. So a baddie is looking like the fucking Joker for her. She's looking a little freaky. And then the baddie supporter says something like, hey, can we get a photo? Can we still get a picture? And I'm never the type of bitch that's like gonna say no. Like I've taken photos before where I looked so crusty and dusty. So I'm just not the type of bitch to say no. So I take the picture. But meanwhile, girl, like my face looks like I'm actively crying. And I just want this baddie supporter to know that I love you so much. Like, thank you so much for trying to calm me down. But that shit was just so fucking embarrassing to me. If you're that baddie supporter that recognized me in that moment, please send me that picture through the DMs. I'm really trying to laugh right now and not feel embarrassed. Okay. Girl, all that crying for no fucking reason because they ended up upgrading us to like priorities. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 because I have a lot more embarrassing stories. As you guys so much, remember you are that bitch, and I'm posting every Wednesday on YouTube, so go subscribe. The link's in the bio as
Get ready with me, bitch. Should we take a blinky? Let's take a blinky. Hold on, I need this shit. Hot damn! Can I rant to y'all for a little bit? I'm gonna sound super out of touch for a few minutes, but you're just gonna have to get over it. I'm so sorry. Like, I still deserve to be able to rant if I want to rant. I just don't understand why I don't get opportunities that other influencers get. I just don't think it's fair. I'm talking hella PR. I'm talking brand trips. I'm talking brand events and stuff like that. Like, I've gotten invited to a couple, but it's nothing compared to like some of my mutuals and stuff like that that have even smaller following than me, and they get all of these benefits and stuff like that that all these influencers get, and I don't get any of it, and it's like really frustrating to me. And you can be like, oh, Paris, it's because you're controversial and you've said this and you've done that and blah 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 blah. But here's the thing, I'm not even that controversial, like on the level of like, let's say James Charles and fucking Jeffree Star, for example, but they still be getting all these benefits and stuff like that. They get invited to music awards, they get all this PR, they get all this bullshit, but I don't get anything, and I'm not even like that level of problematic. So it's like, what is this? And there's even smaller influencers than me who are more problematic than me who still get more benefits than I do. And then I guess you could also be like, oh, Paris, well, yeah, you do makeup in your videos, but like you're not an actual like makeup influencer. Like you don't like promote products like that and like do reviews and stuff like that. But that doesn't even matter because there's other influencers, again, who are smaller than me who don't do makeup at all and still get sponsored by makeup brands and stuff like that, which makes no sense to me, like Sephora and like Ulta and like, you know what I mean? Watching all these people this year go to Coachella, who are smaller than me, more problematic than me, etc., and get invited by brands and stuff like that is just like crazy, and I just don't get shit. I never get shit. Trisha Paytas is out here getting like on Broadway and shit like that and on TV, but like I can't get a fucking PR package from like most brands. Like what? Or like, I love her, I'm not gonna lie, but like Tana Mojo, she's controversial as a motherfucker, more controversial than me. Yeah, she's still getting all these benefits. I just don't understand it. Like, do I not have enough followers? I have 2.5 million followers. Like, I should have enough to get like these benefits and shit like that. I don't know. It's just like really irritating to me. I just feel like it's not fucking fair, and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, why am I so different than all these other problematic creators? Sorry if I sound like a little whiny bitch right now, but I just feel like it's kind of valid. Do you know what I mean? To be a little irritated, is it not? Watch this video genuinely get me canceled or get me in like trouble. I just have a feeling it will, but I'm still gonna post it anyways and see what happens. If there's any brands that are watching this and want to take me to Coachella next year, let me know. Thanks.
These are the types of Christians that I don't get along with as a Christian woman. Good morning, say it back. I was asked to do this, and I'm actually really glad that I was, because I feel like this is going to be quite interesting. I started ranting twice while I was putting my foundation on saying this first one, so I'm just going to try and make it really, really short. I question your Christianity, especially if this is you as a parent who, during the holiday season, because this is the most prevalent, you outcast your child or your family member from being able to come to family-oriented events where the whole family is getting together because they are gay or because they are part of the LGBTQ community. You don't have to agree with their lifestyle. You do not have to support it. You do not have to do any of that. I'm not saying that you do. I'm not going to control what you do. But I think that it is wrong, and it goes against the values that you as a Christian are supposed to believe if you are telling them, we don't want you around because we don't agree with what you're doing. Now, if your child was an axe murderer or a pedophile, duh, but not something like that. I can't be in the same room as you. I'm not really a huge fan. I also can't be in the same room as a Christian who does the same thing with dating people of color or people who are not white. Guys, I grew up in the deep South. I remember at one point I had to look up in the Bible. Me, a child, I was trying to find in the Bible where it said that God said that I couldn't date a black boy. I couldn't have a crush on a man of color. Like, I had to look that up. I couldn't find it anywhere. You don't know why? Because it's not in the Bible, because it's not biblical, because Jesus never said that. Okay. Yeah, I remember having to do that. And now I'm an adult who I have zero respect or zero tolerance for any Christian who believes that. And I'm going to let you know right now, if you are a parent and you are telling your child that they cannot date outside of their race, you're not only not a Christian, but you're racist and you're a weirdo. Next one, and I see this the most with Christian men, but I cannot stand these types of Christians. I'm going to stop doing the air quotes. You guys know what I mean, right? I can't stand these types of Christians who will go to a bar. They go to a bar just to apparently stand around and judge people. Or you're going to a bar so I'm just here to witness. I'm just here to testify. I'm just here to be a good example for God. But you have a beer in your hand. But you have a shot in your hand. First of all, if you're going to go to a bar and you're going to go out, just go out. Take your personal convictions with you, okay? Do whatever. But don't go out just to sit at a bar and judge people who are more drunk than you or doing things that you technically aren't doing, because you're no different. You're in the same place that they are, okay? I can't stand that. Like, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Do not go out just to go judge people who are out. Just stay home. Stay home. I promise, if Jesus were to be physically in the same room as you, and you're in those situations and you're like, oh my gosh, Jesus, Sally was at that bar on this street last night. How crazy. You should judge her. He's going to say, well, why were you there? Why were you over there? I'm again kind of singling out the Christian men that do this too. You're not going to sit and talk about how badly you want a Christian woman, a traditional Christian woman, but your entire following list are nothing but half-naked women, OF models, Instagram models, like those types of Instagram models, and you are thirsting in everybody's DMs, everybody's likes, like you are constantly sleeping around. And I do not respect lustful men who say that they want a non-lustful woman. That makes zero sense. Next are the Christians who either refuse to give to the homeless, or they give to the homeless, but they do something very specific, okay? They either don't give to the homeless because they'll say, well, I'm not giving them money just so they can go use it to buy drugs and alcohol, or they'll give it to them and they will say they're probably going to go use it for drugs and alcohol, and you stub your nose up to them, okay? I don't like even non-Christians that do this, because this isn't just a Christian thing, but as a Christian, you need to hold yourself to a higher standard, because you cannot give to a homeless person or somebody in need. You cannot give them money and then control what they do with it. You are supposed to be giving out of the kindness of your own heart and then going on with your business. I can't stand people who try to control what a homeless person, or like I said, a person in need, does with the money that you willingly give them. These people are homeless. They are sleeping on the streets. They are doing what they can to survive. I'm going to be so real with you. If I was homeless and I was having to endure the things that these people were having to endure, I don't know how I would cope either. I don't know the things that I would do to cope. So when I give my money to somebody in need, or I give my money to somebody who is homeless or food or whatever, I give it to them. I talk to them a little bit and give them like real human interaction if I can, if they're like, if they're all the way there. And then I go on with my business, because to me, I'm just giving to those who need it. I'm not giving it to them with stipulations. Next are Christians who go to restaurants anytime, but mostly after church, because this is like a known thing. But you go to restaurants and you treat the staff like they are your personal butlers. You treat waiters and waitresses and hostess and all of that, you treat them like crap. There should be no reason why it's an unspoken rule that on Sundays, waiters and waitresses are terrified of the after church rush, not because there's going to be a lot of you, but because apparently you guys are the worst customers to deal with. I used to work in the food industry, and you guys absolutely were the worst to deal with. You walk in with your fancy clothes on, your noses all the way up in the air, and you treat people like crap, and you treat people like they're supposed to buttle you. And that is just so odd to me, that that's how you act once you walk out of the church. I don't know if this is a term that, just people where, I'm from use. I could be wrong. But we call these types of Christians holier than thous. And what I also think is funny is that, in my opinion, you see the most of the holier than thous from places like where I'm from. But I digress, okay? If you are a holier than thou, you are putting yourself on a pedestal that is not sustainable, and you will fall very quickly. Very, very quickly, because you have put yourself a little bit too high up. And these are just the types of Christians, holier than thous, that I personally cannot be in the same room as, because the second that you start talking, the second that you start expressing your holier than thou beliefs, you start making, this type of face, or giving a stank face to people who, walk into a room and they look different than you, or they act a little bit different than you, or I can't be around you. You are the type of person that would not invite people that aren't like you to church. And that's crazy. You're the type of person who would say that you're not going to invite somebody to church because of the way that they dress, the way that they look, the lifestyle that they live. You are that type of person, and I can't get on with you. I can't get along with you. I also want to say that if you are this type of Christian, if you are this type of person, I love you because Jesus loves you. But as a human being who is not Jesus, it's really, really hard for me to like you. Anyways, I gotta go. I love you guys, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye.
I thought we could get ready together while you get to know me a bit better, because I feel like there's quite a lot of things that you don't know about me, and also just have like a little life catch up. I know that probably looks like I put loads on, but it blends in so nicely. It smells amazing as well. It's the Be Bold Instant Body Tint. So first, a little backstory. I am an only child. I have quite a small family, and every Sunday I have Family Sunday at my house. It's my favourite day of the week, and I would have it no other way. I dropped out of college at about 7 months. I can't really remember how long it actually was, but I just knew I wanted to go and make money and have a job and get experience that way. I was never too bothered about my grades. I could revise for my GCSEs, but I just was never bothered by them. So anyone who's recently got their GCSE results this week, like, please do not worry if it's not gone the way that you thought or you wanted it to. Like, a little grade or numbers, now it was a grade when I did it, on a piece of paper does not mean anything. Like, it does not define you, is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, if you want to be a doctor, I think it does, matter then, obviously. In a nutshell, it's not the be-all and end-all. But yeah, my mum and dad were so fine with me dropping out of college because they knew what my work ethic was like, because I had my own lash business selling false eyelashes. I did it on Depop and I loved that so much. It taught me so much about like buying stock, speaking with suppliers, like testing things out. Oh, I used to be a professional swimmer. I did that throughout my whole childhood. Sorry, Dad, but he knows I absolutely hated it. I trained like 7+ times a week because you train in the morning some days. It was a whole lifestyle. I did not like it. So then I went into teaching swimming, and I used to teach kids how to swim, and it was so rewarding because I would teach people that knew how to swim, but then also like kids that had no idea how to swim, and then to be able to see them swim and know how to do it in the end and be confident, and like seeing their parents so happy like on the side, it was just the best, and I really, really enjoyed that. Like, I'd so do that again. And then a few of the other jobs that I've had, I worked in a call centre. I think it was to do with like surveys, not selling anything to anyone over the phone. It was just to see if they wanted to fill out like a little survey. And whilst I did that, I also worked in a Chinese takeaway. I absolutely loved that job because cash in hand, I got to like speak to all the customers. I knew like everyone's regular orders when they came in, and you got a free meal with every shift. It was fabulous. Then I actually moved to a Thai takeaway, another one of my favourite cuisines. That was great. And then after a while, I got a full-time job doing trade sales for a beauty company. And I loved that because it was commission-based. So you were in charge of like how much you could make by like how much work you put in and things like that. And it allowed me to get out of an overdraft. I was living in quite a big overdraft, and my family and stuff offered to help, but I was like, no, I've got myself into this situation. I want to learn about money more, and being in a commission-based role really allowed me to like save and eventually get out of my overdraft. And I'm really glad that happened because yeah, it taught me like about money and different things to do with it and how you need to be sensible. Something I did want to speak about is that I feel like I've never fully shown my full self online. Like, how I am is how I am, like bubbly, woo, la la la, which I am. Like, I'm like that with my friends, my family, when I'm at home, but we all have so many different sides to our personality, and one of mine is my like sense of humour is very like dry and sarcastic. But I never know how to do that or show that online within like a get ready with me, or do you know, like a spend the day with me. Also, sorry, Dad, because I know he watches, but I swear like a sailor. Again, I don't online because I don't feel like I need to swear during a makeup tutorial or a day in the life. That isn't when I swear. It's like when I'm around my friends and stuff like that, and Dad, and we're just like having a big joke. I swear like a sailor. I love being at home. I am such a homebody. I'm actually scared to leave the house most of the time. My like ideal day, night, being at home in my pyjamas with the dogs, my family, Dan, having a takeaway. I hate getting dressed up. I hate it. It's not for me. I don't feel like me. I don't feel confident when I'm all dressed up in glam. I know I might show or like portray that I am, but I'm not. I don't like it. I just love being at home. I just take that over a fancy meal any day of the week. Like, mine and Dan's ideal date night is we get fast food, we sit in his truck or in my car in a car park, usually a Wix car park. We watch a true crime documentary on our phones, and I've got a bun on top of my head. Like, that is my ideal date night and like one of our favourite things to do to spend time together. Saying that though, I do like my handbags and my jewellery. Both of those coexist for me, but I'm more like, I want to be in a tracksuit, like really comfy. That's where I'm so comfortable and happy, just in my comfies. I'm a very honest person. Might be a bit of a blessing and a curse, and maybe too honest sometimes, but my friends and family come to me and want my like honest opinion on something. They know they're gonna get the God's honest truth, because that's just the way we all are. Like, that's what I want, because I just feel like honesty's the best policy. I love my cars. I love fast cars, loud cars. I have done since I was little, from my dad, because he's always been obsessed with cars. He used to be a mechanic, and he used to pimp up like all his cars, like when he was like a young boy or when he was a teenager, when he could drive, obviously. And my dad said when we were younger, we went to like this classic car show, and I was just obsessed with all the cars that, what I said, went pop pop bang and sounded really loud. And I said that to my dad, and my dad said ever since that like
he knew. He was in for it then when I said that I wanted a car that went pop, pop, bank. Dan is crazily obsessed with cars. Any kind of vehicle, actually. Dan's obsession is buying random vehicles off Marketplace. We've had a few classic cars, we've had motorbikes, we've had a quad in the garden that he's found on Facebook Marketplace. He likes to buy them, play around with them, do them up, and then sell them on. That's what he enjoys doing. I still have the same two best friends as I did in high school, Georgia and Liz. I love them so much. So we've been friends like 16 or 17 years now. We've been so many different versions of ourselves and done so many crazy things together and like experiences. When we sit, look back, chat about it, it's so funny, like the different things that we've done. I feel like I'm really flush, but it's because I'm a bit nervous about talking about myself. Like, I know I vlog and do chatty get ready with me's all the time, but do you know, actually sitting and like saying facts about yourself, I don't know. I don't like it. I get a bit shy. And I thought I didn't do this trend when it came around last time, so I just thought it'd be like a fun little get to know me. Another one that I just thought of, which I've not said, I love a drink. I love going out with the girls, going out with Dan, getting drunk in a silly, goofy mood. I love it. My mum and dad have never drank. My mum might have like the odd cocktail, but my dad can't drink because he's got a dicky liver, but they've never been big drinkers whatsoever. So I don't know where I get it from. And they don't really swear that much either. That's me already, actually. We're going to the cinema to watch a Jason Statham, like a new movie. I'm going to film taking my pins out for a different video. But yeah, I hope this video's been okay. My heart's going pitter-patter. I've got anxiety because I really don't know how to explain it. I struggle to articulate what I'm thinking and feeling up here sometimes. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Alexa, what time is it?
It's 4:41 a.m.
Guys, 280 more days until I graduate, so let's get ready for senior sunrise. I actually didn't go to sleep till like really late last night, so this sunrise thing might not work out for me. Anyways, it's gonna be really humid outside today, so I hope my hair doesn't fall, but I'm gonna bring a clip in case it does fall so I can just like put it up after we take our pictures. I'm so glad we made it to Friday, guys. Like, literally, this week has actually not even felt that long because I've literally gotten out of school early every day, and I feel like this is the shortest a school week has ever gone by for me. But I feel like I'm gonna get used to getting out early, and then I'm just gonna end up hating school again. But right now, like, school is not too bad. Anyways, guys, I got booted out of 2 senior assassin groups, so that's just amazing because I really just wanted to have a good senior year, but clearly people have already made up their mind about me, so it is what it is. Guys, I actually kind of hate how cliquey high school is because I swear if you didn't go to the same junior high as everybody else, then you're just like fucked from the get-go. Anyways, for senior sunrise, I originally just wanted to go and like get there early and wait till the sun starts like decently rising and then get out and take pictures, but they're providing us for, like food and stuff, so now I'm like staying out there longer, so I know my hair is gonna fall. Guys, tell me why I have like no assigned seating in any of my classes, like none of my core classes, none of my important classes, but my study hall class, the bitch decides to give us assigned seating. Like, actually make that make sense because that's supposed to be a free period and you're giving us assigned seating. And because I'm pretty sure I'm getting switched out of that study hall and going to another one, but still, like, it's actually irritating that you give us assigned seating. Guys, I literally just tried calling all my friends because they're supposed to be like, well, my guy friends, because they're supposed to be at senior sunrise. Like, obviously all my girl ones are right here and we're all going and taking pictures, but like our guy friends said they would come with us and now no one's wanting to get up. So I don't know who's taking our pictures, but they were supposed to be our photographers, so now it's cooked from here. Anyways, it's fine. I'll probably just ask one of my other friends to take our photos. Alright guys, I'm done grimming. I hope you enjoyed today's grim. I know it's short. I'm just really tired and don't feel like talking, but I love y'all. Bye.
I hated my wedding. I'm going on a date with my husband tonight, and I figured now is the perfect time to tell you why my wedding was horrible. Child, it's been 4 months since my wedding, and I still got nightmares about this. And I feel like as the days go by, I just get more and more pissed about it. Because one thing people did was came with all the audacity. People kept texting and calling me, asking me questions that were on the wedding website that took me a month to create. I don't know what it is about events of any kind, but it just like stops people's brains from functioning. All of a sudden, people can't read. I just don't understand how certain people made it to adulthood not knowing how to read. And most of all, comprehend. And then on top of that, people was asking me, can they wear white to my wedding? Are we well? Along with that, people kept adding whoever they wanted to the RSVP list. I used the not for my RSVP in my wedding website, and I had no idea there was an option on there that allowed people to add whoever they wanted. I didn't know that was an option, and I had to turn off so that people weren't able to add names, because I was getting notifications of these people RSVPing, and I was like, who the hell is that? Come to find out, people were adding people to the list, and I'm not talking spouses, significant others. I'm talking about friends, their cousins, people I've never met before in my life, and I'm just sitting there looking like, who does that? So then after I turned that feature off, people were texting and calling me like, yo, can I add this person? Can I add that person? It's not letting me add such and such. It's because they didn't get a damn invitation. They're not invited. Another thing with these RSVPs, everybody was sent the wedding website. Everybody was sent instructions on how to RSVP. If you go on the website, instructions were there as well on every single page of how to RSVP. Ask me how many people text me their RSVP. RSVP on the website. Let me calm down because I'm triggered. Stop assuming that you have a plus one. Unless you are married or been in a long-term relationship with people that the bride and the groom know, or at least the bride or the groom know, stop automatically assuming you have a plus one. Like if you're somebody's single friend, not in a relationship, don't just assume that you have a plus one. Talking about, can I bring this girl I'm dating? I don't know her. Y'all been on one date. And I am not paying $120 a person for somebody that I don't know. I probably should have started here, but I didn't even want to have a wedding. I was persuaded. I was convinced. I was hoodwinked, bamboozled. None of this would have happened if me and my husband would have stuck to our guns and what we wanted from the beginning, which was to just get married at the courthouse and have a little dinner after with our closest friends and family. But that just goes to show you what people pleasing is going to get you. Please do not let anybody convince you to do some shit that you don't want to do. Do what the hell you want. Which brings me to the next one. I did not want bridesmaids. I was actually adamant about not having any bridesmaids. My husband did not have any groomsmen. We just wanted to walk down the aisle. We wanted our kids to walk down first and then we walk down after, and that's it. But again, I was convinced. My sisters told me that I had no choice but to make them my bridesmaids, and they were getting their dresses regardless of what I said, and they were going to be my bridesmaids anyway. Then my mom was like, I think you're going to regret not having your sisters as your bridesmaids. You're not going to get married again. I get where my mom was coming from, because I did get married when I was 19, but I didn't have a wedding. We got married at the courthouse, and it was a sham of a wedding, trust me. It wasn't even a wedding. I got married in jeans and a sweater. So I get people wanting me to have a big wedding this time. But having bridesmaids was probably one of the worst decisions I could have made in the whole wedding, which is partially my fault because I already knew it was going to be. I already knew how my sisters were going to act, and they were going to make everything about themselves because that's what they've done my entire life. Any event that I've ever had has always become about them. So I should have known that my wedding wasn't going to be no different. But the kicker is, you think that surely they won't do this at my wedding. Surely they'll let one thing be about me. No. No. Speaking of bridesmaids, when I tell you they gave the most backhanded speech at my wedding reception, my friends were literally coming up to me like, what the hell was that? It was definitely one of those nice, nasty moments. We just can't believe we're here today. We can't believe we got to this point. We never thought Tiffany was going to get married. We never thought she was going to find somebody to marry her. Because y'all know how Tiffany is. Those were the speeches at my wedding from my sisters. And because there was so much other shit that happened that day, by the time we got to the reception and the speeches part, I was drained. Because had I been in my right mind, I probably would have got up out of my seat and snatched their motherfucking heads. Y'all getting me pissed off again. It was so much so to the point that after the wedding, my sister called my mom, and my mom told her about the speech, and she was like, really? It was really that bad? I didn't think it was that bad. She reread her speech to my mom, and my mom was like, it's even worse the second time. It's like, if you hate me, bitch, just say that. You don't gotta perform at my wedding like this. You could have just stayed home. Needless to say, I don't talk to any of my sisters anymore. My mom wasn't there when I initially picked out my wedding dress. At the time when I got my wedding dress, my mother and I weren't really speaking. We have since discussed it. She was feeling some type of way that I was in a relationship. She wasn't ready to let go. And it was a little sad when I went to pick out my wedding dress and my mom wasn't there. One of my sisters was there, and that's because she begged me to change the appointment so that she could be there. So I'm thinking like, oh, she finna show up for me. Okay. Only for her to turn around and be the main culprit in why my wedding was a disaster. Now looking back, I really wish I got to have that first moment with my mom. She did come with me when it was time to pick the dress up, so she got to see me try it on again, and we had a little moment. It was just her and I. So that was really nice. I almost died doing my florals. That was a time. I DIY'd all my own florals. I made my floral arches for the stage. I made the circle arch that we walked out of to go down the aisle. I made all of the centerpieces. I am not a real flowers girl. Like, I'm somebody who likes you to plant me a garden because I like my flowers in the ground and alive. Don't give me nothing dead. So I made all my centerpieces with artificial flowers and feathers. I did my one too. I'm not even gonna hold you. I did my one too, but I did almost die because it turns out I was allergic to the feathers. I'm very, very serious. Okay. I was almost out of here. Everyone kept telling me to go to the emergency room, but I couldn't because I was getting married in a couple days and I needed to finish these centerpieces. My breathing was short. Like I could not breathe. My chest felt heavy like an elephant was sitting on it. I literally could not breathe. And it's because whatever they sprayed the feathers with was getting all up into my lungs and shit. I put me on an N95 mask and I finished them damn florals. My makeup artist was trash, child. When I tell you the girl came 40 minutes late, no apology, no explanation, nothing. Just popped up like nothing was wrong 40 minutes late. She spent 3 hours doing my makeup, which honestly would have been fine if she would have told me that she needed 3 hours because I told her I needed to be ready at 12 o'clock so I can take pictures. So if you know that your bride needs to be ready at 12 o'clock and you know it takes you 3 hours, don't say, oh yeah, 10 o'clock should be more than enough time. Say, girl, let me come at 8. You're a wedding makeup artist. You should know how much time you need. And she did all that only for the makeup to come off 30 minutes later. And no, it was not from crying because I didn't cry at all. Not one time on my wedding day. I did not cry. It literally just started coming off right in this area on both sides. It was so bad that I just had to wear sunglasses the entire reception. Not 3 hours and I ain't even got no goddamn makeup on my face. Girl, I don't even want to tell you how much the girl costs. Cause you know, I think I'm paying for luxury. I think I'm paying for the experience. Her work is top tier, firebomb. I'm not saying that my makeup looked a mess. I'm just saying it wasn't worth the $1,000 that I paid. It wasn't worth the 3 hours it took her to do it. Then on top of that, her breath was stinking. And then she had the nerve to want to do a whole photo shoot after she got finished my makeup an hour past the time I asked her to be done my makeup. Matter of fact, I think it was an hour and a half past the time. Then you want to start setting up lights and start doing a whole photo shoot? Bitch. See, I'm getting mad about it all over again. I need to calm down. Back to my sisters. They got the nastiest attitude with my mom and ruined my entire wedding weekend because they were walking around the entire weekend with nasty attitudes. And more specifically, they ruined my wedding morning. A time that's you're supposed to be with your girls, drinking mimosas, getting a little Bellini, taking a little shot of tequila, getting ready to go get married. Everybody's supposed to be excited. It's supposed to be, yes, girl, it's your day. Do you need some fruit? Do you need to eat? Make sure you drink water. Let me go steam your dress. Nothing but nasty attitudes. Nothing but sitting around, low vibes. I curated a nice little 90s R&B playlist for us. You know what I'm saying? The back of that day, the old school jazzies in there. You know, I wanted that kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Did I get that? Mm-mm. And when my mom asked them to go steam my dress, they act like they didn't want to do it. You begged and pleaded to be bridesmaids and then wanted to do completely nothing. Mind you, your girl spent over $1,000 on their bridal boxes for bridesmaids I didn't want. Okay. Come to find out, the only reason they had an attitude is because the day before my mom asked them to decorate the hotel room for me. She bought all these balloons, all these decorations, these banners with me and my husband's pictures on them. And because we were at the rehearsal for the wedding, she didn't have time to put it up herself. So she asked my sisters. Child, she got back and there was no balloons up. So, you know, my mom was like, but I told her, I don't know why you think they would do anything for me, girl. They don't like me. A woman who has treated me like shit my entire life since I was a little girl showed up to my wedding after I specifically said that I didn't want her there. Guess who she was? My sister's mother. My ex-stepmom, yep. Who has not only talked shit about me my entire life, but has talked shit about my children, has talked shit about my mother, has literally showed up to majority of my events, even after she's not been invited, to just talk shit. Let that marinate. I specifically told my sisters to make sure that their mother did not show up to my wedding. And what did they do? Not only did she show up, but she sat outside of my wedding venue for 20 minutes. And I could not leave my ceremony space to go to the reception space because she was outside. My husband had to go out there and tell everybody to move along, hurry up. Then come to find out, the siblings got on a little call afterwards and said, well, you know how Tiffany is. It just had to be the Tiffany show because I didn't want someone who's treated me like shit my entire life to be at my wedding, but she was at my wedding anyway, and that upset me. And I didn't even respond in the moment. I waited till after the wedding weekend to say something, and I was met with hostility because I asked of something at my wedding, that was too much. That was too much, guys. It was too much. How dare you ask for something at your wedding? You selfish woman, you. And last but not least for this one, my wedding was over an hour late because my wedding decorator did absolutely nothing. Every single piece of decor was made already. It was wrapped up. It was packaged. It was put into the U-Haul. It was labeled in boxes. She knew exactly what was supposed to go to the ceremony space and exactly what was supposed to go to the reception space. Everything was done. All she had to do was literally put the things on the table. She didn't have to make a centerpiece. She didn't have to do nothing, but just put the stuff on the table. Ask me why the ceremony was an hour late. The girl was still putting the dance floor down as people were sitting and eating their dinner. The girl was still putting centerpieces on the table as people were eating their dinner, and she dropped one of the centerpieces on my guests. When I say we had to put guests in a holding wedding room and couldn't even open the doors because nothing was done. The dance floor was halfway up. She was decorating the railings as people were trying to cha-cha slide. Child, so much more stuff happened. I can't even. There's not enough time in this damn video to get through everything. But the best part is I got to marry the love of my life, and that's all that matters. But I wish you would have saved that 50 grand and just went on a trip. All right, I gotta go. I'm late for my date. Bye.
Story time on how I found out my boyfriend of 2 years was cheating on me. So we've been dating for 2 years and everything was like fine, like towards the end. Everything was like fine and I honestly didn't see it coming. It was near Halloween and we were going out for a birthday meal with all his family. And it was amazing. And then the next day he had a festival that he was going to and I couldn't, well, for his birthday, and I couldn't go because I wasn't 18 yet. So anyway, he went to the festival and he came back the next day and he barely had like messaged me about it, which was weird because, you know, you would. So I just thought, oh, maybe he's just tired. He's not really been on his phone because he came back at like 4 in the morning because that's when it finished. A couple of days had gone, like 3 days. And throughout this week, he was like barely messaging me, which again is not like him. So I was like, this is kind of becoming weird now. So I was messaging his sister because his sister was like my best friend at the time. So I was messaging her just being like, you know, is he in the house still? Because he's barely messaging me this whole week and it's just, something just isn't sitting right. Like I had a feeling. Anyway, so she replies and says, oh, that's strange because no, he's not in the house. Like, he's been sleeping at his friend's house, like, throughout the week and he's only been home once. So I was like, what? What the hell? That's just really, like, weird. So me and her, like, FaceTime and we start becoming, like, some, like, secret investigators and we're trying to get to the bottom of this, of why he's acting, like, so weird. So she asks her mom what friends he's staying at. And then, let's say his friend was called Dave. So we were like, okay, I have Dave on Snapchat. So let me message him and, you know, be like, oh, you know, is my boyfriend there? So yeah, I messaged him that. And he replies and he's like, yeah, he's at mine. Like, we're just chilling and stuff. And, like, I'm thinking, I still don't believe you because he's barely messaging me. Like, still, I've been undelivered this whole time. So then I message his other friend who isn't there. And I say, oh, do you know where my boyfriend is? Like, whose house he's staying at? And he says he's staying at, like, a different friend, so not Dave's. And I'm like, that's interesting, because I know they have a group chat of when they talk on it a lot, so I know he would know that he's at, like, Dave's house. So I was like, that's very suspicious. So I message Dave again, and I say, can you send a snap of him? And I said that message as, like, on a snap, so he couldn't half-swipe me, because I knew the whole time he'd been half-swiping me. So anyway, he left me unopened, so I thought, that's funny, because you can't send me a snap. I know you can't, because he's not actually there. And his sister was, like, so shocked, because I said, oh, he's definitely cheated on me. And she's like, no, he wouldn't, though, because if you knew him, he is not the type to do that at all. So she's like, I don't know. But I was like, no, I knew it. So anyway, Dave and the other friend had messaged him and just said, like, oh, you know, she's asking questions and stuff. So then he finally came forward and actually messaged me. And he told me that, like, we're going to have to meet up so I can talk. So that's how I knew. I was like, okay, you've cheated on me, obviously. Met up, and he kept trying to, he was trying to delay it. Like, he was trying to talk about anything that wasn't to do with it. And I was like, oh my God, I can just tell. Like, I found it really funny. So I just told him to just get to the point because I knew that he cheated on me. And then he finally told me what happened. He told me that when he was at the festival, he went more towards, like, the stage. And his friends didn't. His friends stayed far behind. So in the end, he lost his friends. And there was this girl that was like, oh, what, like, are you okay? You look like, you know, panicked and stuff. He proceeded to tell her how he lost his friends and he can't find them and he doesn't know how he's going to get back. She then says, oh, I'll get you a taxi back home. And I'm thinking, oh my God. She then says to him, oh, have you got a girlfriend? And he says no. Like, that is crazy. We've been dating for 2 years and everything's been going really well. Like, there's no excuse for you to be doing this. And you have the audacity to say, no, I don't have a girlfriend. So anyway, they exchanged socials and he buys her a taxi home. And then throughout the week when he hadn't been messaging me, it was because he'd been catching trains, an hour train, by the way, an hour train throughout that whole week to go and see her, which is crazy. And he's been saying to his mom and everyone that he was staying at this person's house and at this person's house. And he wasn't. He was staying at her house the whole time. And, like, I was so shocked because he always used to say throughout the relationship, oh yeah, you're definitely going to cheat on me. Like, I feel like you're going to cheat on me. And, like, look how the tables have turned. Like, he cheated on me. And I just found that it got me mad. Like, I was shouting and screaming at him. I was being so mad. But I was also laughing because I found it funny at the same time. And, like, he kept giving me excuses of why he did it. And, like, the main one was, I haven't really been feeling great about this relationship for the past month. So I wanted to break up. And I just felt like I couldn't actually physically break up with you. So this was my only way out. That is crazy. Like, what? Why are you trying to, like, manipulate me? into like thinking that it's okay to do this because you felt like you couldn't break up with me. That's crazy. So I ended up telling his sister as well because it was crazy, and he ended up telling his mom, and his mom was shouting at him. She was crying, like his sister was crying and stuff because I'd been a part of their family for like 2 years. Just for it to end like this, it was crazy, and like they were never going to see me again. And you know what the worst thing about it was? At the end of all of this, he had the audacity to ask me, oh, but can we still be friends though, because I like you as a friend. What the hell? Like, what? Why would you cheat on someone and break up with them? And then I asked them that. So obviously I said no. And even like weeks after this, he would always like try and call me, and he'd message me stuff acting like none of it happened. And I'd like say to him, you cheated on me. Like, why are you acting like nothing's happened? And he would say, oh, I didn't cheat on you. What are you on about? Oh my God. Like, what? Like, I couldn't tell if he was just joking and trying to, like, wind me up, or if he actually, like, had convinced himself that he didn't cheat on me and that we just broke up or something. Or, like, he would try and, you know, use excuses of why he did it and stuff. So then, in the end, I just blocked him because I was like, I don't need you at all in my life. Like, why am I even still talking to you? So, yeah. What a messy story.